Okay, go ahead.
All right, here's a call to order. Firstly, I want to extend a hearty welcome to all our RCN Rotarians and any guests who may be tuning in to this first weekly meeting for the 2022 calendar year. I also bring greetings for a happy and prosperous new year to all my fellow Rotarians. All right, I'll turn the program back over now to our MC for today, Rotarian Chantel.
All right, good day, happy new year. Welcome to the second half of this Rotary year. You've made it this far. I look forward to, continuing on for the rest of the year. So I am filling in as your MC today. As you can see, we do have a few people missing. There are some people who have been exposed to COVID, so we need to make sure we keep them in our prayers that they stay safe. Also, we have Magdalena Penn. She's on today, but she did suffer a loss yesterday. Her nephew passed away yesterday, so we want to extend her condolences and also keep her in prayer, as a family deals with this loss. So we will move into our program. I'm not sure if Crystal is on yet. If not, I will go ahead.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay, sorry. I didn't, okay, I see you now. Okay, good. So Crystal, if you don't mind, you can lead us in the Rotary Grace, please.
Okay, all heads bowed, eyes closed. Rotary Grace, O Lord, and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all our days. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. Rudolph Lavarity, is he on? Right, trying to do this double duty is interesting. So I don't see Rudy logged in. So if you raise your glasses, your cups or bottles of water, and join me in the loyal toast to the Queen and Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Queen, Commonwealth.
Queen and Commonwealth of Bahamas.
Thank you very much. And now I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, looking so sharp and dapper today. Mr. Wade Miller.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Chantel. And let me say a happy new year to all of you. I trust and pray that 2022 will be a booming year. Will be the year that you receive all of the blessings and the favor of God Almighty on you and your loved ones. So we want to thank you so much, and we want to say welcome, indeed, welcome to the Rotary Club of Nassau on behalf of President Mike Wilson. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who are visitors on the call, those who are guest Rotarians and fellow Rotarians, we want to just welcome you to our first meeting of 2022. It promises to be a good one. And we are so happy. We are so happy that you're able to join us today. And during the holiday season, I know that many of you would have been up and about, moving around. And so we want to just thank you so much for being safe, at least being safe out there as we move about during the holiday season. And we want to just lighten the moment a bit. And so, I like to come out on 2022. It be no different. I come out and we're going to crack one or two jokes and we can put a little smile on your face. I came across this one, it says, my mother has only beaten me 3 times in my entire life. How many of you could say that? My mother has only beaten me 3 times in my entire life. The remaining 753 times were attempted murder. Boy, if you had a mother like mine, boy, that is so true, boy. Because boy, I tell you, she's like me. All right. And then during essentially this COVID time and this COVID period, just to light up the moment, was this single guy and a single girl, he said, the single guy said to the single girl, he said, during the lockdown, he said, if COVID doesn't take you out, can I? All right. Good. Let's light the moment. We gotta go, yes, we gotta go into 2022, man. Feeling light and feeling jovial, and we just gonna be happy as we go through 2022 with a smile on our face, regardless of all the challenges, regardless of all the setback, regardless of all of the nuances that 2022 has to offer. We will have a smile on our face, and we will smile at the storm, even as we go through. And so, if there are any, do we have any guests? Do we have any guests? And I see, let me be the first. I want to welcome Bridget Sands. Bridget Sands, a good friend of mine and colleague. Welcome to our Rotary meeting, Bridget. And Bridget, if you want to, could you just say hi for us, please? Just say hi for us, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward to your presentation. And Happy New Year to everyone. Blessings.
Blessings, blessings. Thank you so much, Bridget. Are there any other guests? Any other guests? Any other guests? You want to have any introduction of any guests on the call?
Yes, I have a guest who Michael might say is his guest, but Dr. Elvira Higgs, she is on. You know, she's been very instrumental in working with the Vision Expo for RCN. So Dr. Higgs, would you like to say hello?
Hello, and thank you very much for the invite. Hey, Cuz Wilson, how you doing?
I'm good. And as promised, I've been driving around with your t-shirt for a couple of weeks now. I can't catch up with you.
Oh, that's because I'm on the move, but I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down a bit now. I'll have to get your number, your WhatsApp, and let you know where I'll be next week.
Right up.
All right, sounds good. And another visitor, Monique Palmisano. Again, Dr. Anita may say this is her guest, but today she's my guest. Monique, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Good, good. Happy New Year to you too. Thanks, my dear. Thanks. We're so proud of you, and we're pleased to have you join us. Also, a guest of mine, Keno Wong. Keno Wong, he is the chairman. He's the chairman of the National Neighborhood Crime Watch group. That group that is doing a marvelous job in trying to keep our neighborhoods safe. It's a big responsibility that Keno has, and Keno, we're so happy that you're able to join us. Could you say hi to us, please?
Well, good afternoon to everybody, and Happy New Year. Thank you, Brother Wayne Miller, for sending the invitation. I look forward to your presentation. On behalf of all of the presidents throughout the Bahamas, which is 167 watch groups, we just ask that you continue to keep us in your thoughts as we continue to try our best to keep our community safe along with the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It's also good to see one of my great advisors, not just you, but Stephen Dean is also here today, so I'm happy to see him on the line as well.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Continue to do the good work. Good work, man. We are so proud of you. Any other guests on the call today?
Wayne, can I put a request into Mr. Keno, to your guest there? Tell him we could possibly use him for a presentation next month, peace and conflict resolution.
Beautiful, Keno, you hear it? You got your marching orders, Keno.
I thank you, Mr. Mike Wilson. More than willing to assist the best way I can. Thank you for the invite so far. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. I know you're up to the challenge. Always up to the challenge. Good. Moving on. And do you have any other guests or any visiting Rotarians at this time? No visiting Rotarians. We have no visiting Rotarians. Any apologies, Chantel?
Yes, we have a few apologies. Rotarian Nadia is unable to join us today. Oops, hold on, I'm trying to see who else would have messaged me. Rotarian Lizette, she will try to log on, but she's not sure if she will be able to make it on the call today. And with past President Joan, she will not be joining the meeting today either.
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to say thanks to all of you. And indeed, you are welcome into our meeting as we move forward. Turn back over to you, Rotarian Chantel.
Okay, thank you for that welcome, Wayne. I'm gonna steal that last joke. I like that one. I can steal that one. All right, President Michael, you can give us your remarks now, please.
All right, good day again. Just want to follow up on something that we've mentioned earlier. We have the distribution of the face masks that were procured through the donation from the Temple Foundation. That's in progress. We've had masks dispatched so far to Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Abaco, Cat Island, and Exuma. And we've contacted all the New Providence Space Clubs, and they'll take an initial 2 cartons. We still have quite a few cartons of masks to get rid of, so I'm putting it out to the floor of RCN members. If you have any suggestions as to how or where we can, move forward with this distribution process, I might just give myself or the board a call. Secondly, we have several noteworthy projects scheduled for the second half of the 2021-2022 Rotary year. January is Rotary Awareness Month. Several projects and presentations scheduled around this theme will be announced in short order. Next month is Peace and Conflict Resolution Month. Our major project for February will center around the project which we will have in partnership with the Police Force Rangers, and where RCN will be putting to good use the Rotary grant that we received from the district. And finally, let's keep Rotarian Ebony in our prayers as she continues on her road to full recovery from a recent medical challenge. Back over to you, Chantel.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and I echo that, continue to pray for Ebony. Her recovery is coming along well, but, continue to keep her in your prayers. Now, just a couple of announcements. January is also the month that we celebrate our 60th anniversary. January 19th is the actual date of the anniversary. And there are some activities that are being planned. One, to kick off the month, we will be participating in Marathon Bahamas. I see some of the participants here, be myself, Rotarian Kino, and Rotarian Yvette. I hope you all are ready and all prepped. Patricia is the other Rotarian who will be joining us. And then we also have a team that'll be joining from Cat Island. And we have the three Rotaract clubs will also be participating. Here in Nassau and Cat Island, we'll be running on Saturday, and in Exuma, the Interact, they opted to do theirs on Monday instead. They're gonna have the community come out and actually run along with them. So that would be our start to the 60th anniversary month. Also, Treasurer Sandra, she actually was unable to join the call today. She just wanted me to let you know that she will be sending out the invoices for those persons, relevant persons for the beginning of the second half, I should say, of the Rotary year. So those should be coming out, so you can look out for those. And other than that, we look forward to having a successful January. As the projects and activities become available, we will let you know either through the meetings or email or through the chat. Okay. All right, Rotarian Kino. You had a question, right?
Chantal, can I just add one other announcement?
Sure.
As there'll be a joint church service is coming Sunday where all Rotary clubs in New Providence are invited to a church service. I'll put the information on the chat, but like I say, all Rotarians are invited to attend. This will be at, I think it's Grace Community Church on Cowpen Road, where one of our Rotary presidents, he's a member. But more details will be coming out in the next day or two.
Okay, because there may be limitations on the numbers now, right? But I guess you let us know.
I don't know. Well, it was promised that we would have a whole section of the church reserved for, Rotarians. But
Mhm.
I'll follow up with AG Carter and AG Kent to see how these latest protocols will affect the service.
Okay, all right, thank you. So we'll look out for that then. Okay, over to you, Return Kino.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Rotarian Chantel. It's good to see all of you. Happy and a blessed new year to all of you wonderful Rotarians. And it's so good to have all of you here, our visiting guests. Listen, I want to send a shout out to my namesake. Hey, Kino, it's good to have you on the call today. It's always good to have another namesake on the call. So I want to send a shout out to him and also the other visitors, Bridget and
Thank you,
everyone
Brother
else.
Keno. Thank you. Thank you.
Bridget Sands and all the other visitors. Listen, some great things are happening. We're going to be celebrating 44 years for one of our Rotarians has been a part of Rotary for 44 years. That is something definitely to celebrate. I don't know if Jim is on. Jim Bradley is on, but we want to celebrate them. Chantal, do you have our celebration? I think we need to sing the happy birthday song just for him. Jim Bradley, January 4th, 44 years. If you could give us a hand. Those of you who have your emojis, come on, let's give him some hand claps, some virtual hand claps for being a part of Rotary for 44 years, making a difference in the community, and also promoting service above self. Service above self. That is an amazing journey. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him and see what has been happening over the last 44 years. And in light of that, I'm going to be talking a little about the Rotary Buddy. When we got started today, I was listening into the conversations and I listened to, I think it was Lana who was talking. Two persons were talking about, I think it's Alvira were talking about their Rotary Buddy and them presenting gifts to their Rotary Buddy and what they want to do for this upcoming year. Again, it's very exciting. I don't know if everyone got a chance to connect with their Rotary Buddy during Christmas, but if you haven't, this is the new year. Connect with them, say hello to them, buy them a little gift, something nice. Like we said, if you don't get a chance to get to them, you can make a donation of $20 to the Rotary Foundation. And by the end of this week, we're going to give you at least to the end of this week to connect with your Rotary Buddy from last year. And at the end of this week, we're going to shift over to your new Rotary Buddy. So by Friday of this week, I will be sending out a list of your new Rotary Buddy for this year, and you will be able to contact them. So let's make sure that we connect with our Rotary Buddies, especially our old, and now we're going to be getting our new Rotary Buddies coming for 2022. That's all I have for Rotary Buddies and a membership. Thank you all for being a part of Rotary. Let's continue to have a wonderful year and a wonderful day. Thank you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for that, for the reminder of the buddies. And that would have been Lana and Gina who were talking about meeting up and, getting to know each other.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
if you haven't gotten a chance to connect with your Rotary Buddy, do so. If you still want to connect with the old and the new, bring them together and you guys probably have a little chat or a little coffee or whatever. I think that would be a great thing. The whole thing is let's get to know each other better in 2022. Thanks a lot, Chantel. Back over to you. Okay,
all right, great. All right, so moving on with our program, Gina, hey, your name is getting called a lot today. We're now calling you to have the introduction of the speaker.
Thank you so much, Chantel. And it is my absolute pleasure today to introduce our speaker, Rotarian Wayne Miller. Wayne is an insurance agent who works mainly with government employees to develop and implement plans to address their personal insurance needs. Unlike other agents, Wayne understands the government's retirement package, having worked in government for over 30 years, and can help government employees optimize their personal retirement and insurance coverage. Wayne serves as both the Sergeant at Arms and the Education and Literacy Chair for the Rotary Club of Nassau. Everybody join me in welcoming our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Wayne Miller.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David, for that warm introduction. I want to just say again, thank you to President Mike and to the administration team for allowing me the opportunity just to share briefly with you some of the things, that I would have encountered in my journey, my sojourning on this side of the planet. But I like to start by saying that, I spent about 30 odd years working in the government department, particularly the Royal Bahamas Police Force in particular. And let me tell you, when I retired, I got the shock of my life. I got the shock of my life because the pension that they paid me was less than half of my salary. It was unable to even pay for my living expenses. And so this when the reality of it came to me. No one in my human resource department told me, no one in my payroll department even informed me. They never told me that I was supposed to save the other half of my salary to go towards my pension. And so that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I take it upon myself as a mission to really help others, as a mission to really unveil the naked truth about the importance of financial planning and retirement planning and financial literacy on the whole. Because truth be told, many people are unaware. Many people are unaware, and because being unaware, they suffer enormously because of lack of planning. So that is it. So I want to now, let me get into sharing my screen so we can go full steam ahead into the presentation. Okay, so Chantel, if you allow me to share my screen, I'll be more than happy to move straight along. Good. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yeah, you good?
Good, beautiful, excellent. Okay, so we're going to talk about financial planning and literacy for 2021. And I just want to share some ideas with you that I believe that may be able to assist you as you plan and move ahead. Okay. Okay, good. Here's the dilemma. The dilemma is that the vast majority of Bahamians, and the last statistics by the central bank said that 80% of Bahamians have less than $1,000 saved. It might even be more than that now, given COVID and the likes. Of course, we know that there's an over-reliance on government, over-reliance on social services, over-reliance on national insurance. And we know that these two entities are really buckling right now. They are buckling at the knees right now. And I suggest that any moment we'll hear some adjustments being made, either carrying the age of retirement up to age 70, or perhaps maybe adding on another tax. And I believe that one of the two, somewhere along the line, is going to come in. And of course, we know that there's a lack of financial discipline, on many of our behalf in terms of saving for our future. I like to put the screen up. I just talk about the debt. Debt is a merciless master. It is a merciless master. And I tell you, it's no cute thing now to live from paycheck to paycheck. Living from paycheck to paycheck isn't cute anymore. It can actually cost your life. It can actually cost your debt. A man or woman cannot do their best work living from paycheck to paycheck. They lack confidence. Debt suffocates a victim. As you can see, this man sits in his comfort zone, but he's now being suffocated by debt. He's been suffocated by paycheck to paycheck and so forth. So we need to now teach our people how to get out of this whole dire straits of paycheck to paycheck, because it could cause enormous havoc on them and their families. We're going to spend most of our time talking about financial security goals. Financial security. And as you plan, I think this is a very good time, beginning of the year, that you want to talk and think about financial security. As you and your spouse or your loved one, your significant one, sit down and talk about financial goals. Financial security should be a top of the line. And we're going to talk about protection goals, financial protection goals, financial accumulation goals, and then financial investment goals. Okay, financial security means different things to different people. And I like to say that, when you look at financial security, it should encompass, these things here. You want to be able to maintain your basic lifestyle. And that is different to everyone, but you want to be able to maintain your basic lifestyle. You'll be able to have sufficient funds to invest in future goals. Then you'll be able to take care of large financial emergencies. And then, of course, you will protect your money from any risk or loss. And so financial security is a combination of all of these factors: living a certain lifestyle, being able to invest in their investment opportunities and goals you have, maybe to build a home or build another home or build some apartment income properties and so forth, and then take care of financial emergencies. Of course, you want to make sure that you protect your monies from risk or loss. And one of the things we look at this financial pyramid. This is a financial security pyramid. And why we use the pyramid? It is said that we use the pyramid in financial security because the pyramid represents or solidifies the bastion of ancient civilization, because it has stood the time. It has stood the test of time. And as you recall, the pyramids from Egypt that have been in existence over 3,000 years. And these pyramids are still a mystery. So financial pyramid is one of the things that we use to assist us moving forward. And of course, those pyramids would have enormous foundation. So we call that the wealth foundation, the wealth foundation. So any financial pyramid must start from the bottom up, And so the wealth foundation, there are things in the wealth foundation, and then we go to the wealth accumulation part of the pyramid. And then, of course, the wealth preservation and the wealth distribution. We will spend most of our time talking about the wealth foundation, because this is where most people find themselves. And then the wealth accumulation, because without the foundation, then our accumulation efforts could go to naught or could be at risk tremendously. One of the things we want to talk about when we look at the foundation is health insurance. The financial protection goal is health insurance. Your health is your wealth. Without health insurance, you put at risk your savings and investments. We've seen this happen over and repeatedly. Many people would have come to our attention, indicated that they had a good nest egg saved, but because they did not have any health insurance, of course, they had to deplete their investments and savings. We know of even prominent people in our country who would have had good nest eggs saved, but they didn't have any health insurance. They dropped their health insurance, and lo and behold, they got seriously sick, and they got seriously injured, or them and their spouse. I know of a particular case where both the husband and the wife were diagnosed with serious illnesses, and it depleted, completely depleted their savings and their investments. So medical insurance, health insurance is a protection goal. It protects your savings, it protects your investment from risk and so forth. Okay, so we know we could go on with that for a long time, but it's very, very important because you don't know where accidents are. Serious accidents. If you travel in the streets of the Bahamas, you could be in a serious accident. Okay, and then we talk about home insurance. Home insurance is also another protection goal. This is protecting your savings and your investment. The story cannot be said enough. Look at Hurricane Dorian, happened almost 3 years ago, and we still have hundreds of people who are displaced. We have hundreds of people who cannot get in their home because they did not have a protection goal for their home. And so Hurricane Dorian upset their apple cart. They had to deplete their savings. They had to deplete whatever investments they had. Some people right now are still living in domes. Some people are still living with family members. Some people had to move to Nassau in order to even begin any semblance of a normalcy of life. And simply for the fact that they didn't have a home insurance. Their earthly possessions, most of the time, is the home, and that is gone. And most of these people are up in age, when it's happened. So Home insurance is important. Mortgage insurance is important because it protects the lenders and it protects the borrowers. So it's very, very important. This is not a protection goal to protect that savings that you have going on in your investments. So please, I'll urge you to get coverage in that regard. And then we talk another financial protection. Life insurance, perhaps maybe the most important right now, particularly in light of the pandemic, COVID-19. We've seen many young people, just like this young man in this photo here, many young men who would have died or succumbed as a result of COVID-19, leaving children behind. And because their income was not adequately protected, guess what happened to the savings? Guess what happened to the investments? Well, those savings and investment had to be depleted because there's not sufficient coverage for the family. Now you got to take out money of the savings if you want to keep the children in private school, or you got to take the children to private school. Now you got to take money out now just to live. Living expenses like water, cable, food, clothes, all of these things have not been considered. And we've had drastic instances, real life instances, where young families are destroyed and have been destroyed financially and both mentally about in this disaster. I put here statistically men die quicker than women, and that is correct, and that is a fact. So if you are a woman on this call, you have to know. You have to know what sort of life insurance coverage, income protection coverage is on your husband, because you will live with the consequences either way. Either way, you live with the consequences. If it's adequate protection, you will live with that. If it's not, you will live with that. We found that many women take it for granted. They take it for granted that their husband's income has been protected. The husband, in most cases, are the breadwinners. And if this income is not protected, then you find that you leave yourself out in the draft. And so we have many women now with husbands who have died. We have over 700 people died from COVID. And so we had a number of people who did not have any income protection insurance. And what happened is they've depleted their savings. And so the wife, in most cases, have to go back to work. The children, in most cases, have to be taken out of private school. In most cases, people have to move in with their families. They don't have the necessary coverage, all right? Life insurance also helps you to diversify your portfolio. It helps with cash supplement to your retirement savings. So all of these things help to protect your savings and investment. As we move on, let's move on in the interest of time. Emergency fund is another financial protection goal. You have to have emergency fund. It's said that those who do not have emergency fund always have an emergency. That's amazing, eh? If you don't have an emergency fund, guess what? You always have an emergency. And old people said it this way. They couldn't say it in all these words I'm saying it, but yes, they prepare for the rainy day. As we know, a rainy day will come. A rainy day will come. You will have some medical emergency pop up. You will have some financial emergency pop up. So you want to be able to have sufficient funds set aside as an emergency fund so that you don't have to tap into your savings and investment. What happens is most of the times an emergency comes, we go to our savings or our investment. And so thereby we never really fully continue the process of saving. Because we have nothing to protect our savings. Our savings are left open and vulnerable because emergencies happen. We live in life, emergencies happen. Experts say that we should have at least 6 to 9 months. In some cases, they are saying that we should have 12 months in light of COVID-19 and the pandemic. We had a shutdown of businesses. We had a shutdown of employment across the board in the country. And what happened is, because there was insufficient emergency funds, many people had to deplete their savings. Many people had to cash in their investments simply because there was insufficient emergency funds set up to bolster against such an emergency. So, and we don't know where life's going to take us. We don't know what the pandemic is going to hold. So I would suggest and advise that you begin looking at putting aside some emergency fund to take care of living expenses. Your living expense might be $2,000 a month, $3,000. Some people living expenses is $5,000 a month. But whatever your living expenses is, that's the light, the water, the cable, the telephone, and the food, whatever that expense is, you want to be able to put aside at least several months of that away so that it doesn't negatively impact you if we go another shutdown or lockdown. Okay. Now we talk about accumulation goals. Accumulation goals. One of the major accumulation goals is the retirement savings. Retirement saving is a major accumulation goals because it's going to take much more savings than you could ever imagine. Many people want to live happily ever after. Many people want to have peace of mind and maintain their lifestyle, but they have no idea of what retirement savings they will have to put aside. How long do you expect to live after retirement? A number of people die soon after retirement, and I believe and I suspect that because they run out of money. That's the one thing you want to do. You do not want your money to die before you. All right. If anything, you want to die, leaving at least something in the kitty. Okay. You'll never run out of money, not in the Bahamas. Don't get old and broke in the Bahamas. You know how difficult that is. And the burden that places on other family members. All right. So you want to start early so you could spread it out over an extended period of time. And of course, the high cost of inflation on your savings, that's going to deplete your savings as well. So retirement savings can help augment it or supplement it and so forth. One of the things I wish to point out here is people who work in the private sector. If you work for an employer who does not provide a pension plan for you, you have to do so right away. You have to do so right away. Plan your own retirement plan. I'll be honest with you, because at the end of the day, people don't care that much about you. They say, look, I'll be paying you a paycheck every week or every month. It was your responsibility to take some of that aside and save in your own individual retirement plan. So if you do not have a retirement plan set up at work, you want to put some aside. Even if you do have one, in many cases, you have a contributory pension plan, where the employer is asking you to put 5%, he put 5%. But is that enough? Really, is that enough? Is that enough to let you live at least 20 years into retirement, 30 years into retirement? So you retire at 60, you retire at 65. Do you want to live 30 years after retirement? Or are you planning to live 5 years after retirement? Whatever it is, you have to plan for it. And you have to make sure that you have sufficient funds set aside. And then, of course, early retirement option. If you do an individual retirement plan, you can do it. You can have early retirement plan by putting the amount of money that you choose. Okay. And then moving straight ahead, another accumulation goal is that of the college savings. College savings is very important. Most people want their children to go to college, and we know that a good college or university costs money. Okay. Those who don't wish to go to college, we could put some money aside so they can have seed money to start up a little business. They might be into baking, they might be into electronics, they may be into some of the small businesses, but you want to have some monies to assist them with. And of course, this will prevent you from having to dip into your savings and into your investment, and then it'll reduce the amount of money you have to borrow from the bank. Okay, please, you shouldn't have to remortgage your house. Many times we in desperate mode, and many professionals get caught off guard like this. We're in desperate mode to send our child to a nice Ivy League college or any university, and of course, we didn't put the money aside, so we go to remortgage. Now, your mortgage is supposed to finish when you're 60 or 65. This is a 25, 30-year mortgage. And what happened is the bank thrusts you now into a deeper hole, into an abyss now, where your mortgage extends now to 75 years of age. Of course, you already finished working 10 years prior to that. We have a lot of professionals in this regard who send their children away. And of course, they find themselves with an empty bag because the child does not even come back. Or if the child comes back, the child is married and so forth, and have other responsibilities and obligations, and can't help you out as much as you would wish them to. Okay, and then we go on to another investment goal, and I put up here CFAL. CFAL is Kalina Financial Advisors Limited. They are the largest in the country when it comes down to investment opportunities, the largest in the country by none. If you notice, they would have just had an offering with the cruise ship port, an offering there. I hope that many of you would have taken advantage of it. So this is a good place to park some money. The advantage of CFAL is that you could deposit once a month and you could withdraw once a month. Okay, and you can leave monies there, whether you want the monies there for a down payment for home, whether you want money there to some investment or a long-term investment. You can put some money here as an investment opportunity. So again, this is part of the investment that you want to protect as you get older. And one of the other things I like to say is you have to automate for success. So if you want to be successful, you have to put it in automatic. It has to come out automatically. You cannot have the money and feel it up. People who do not reach their goals, they have the money and they feel it up. They want to be feeling their money up every month. So they want to go to this tug of war with their minds every month. So should I save? Should I spend? Should I go to Miami? Should I go buy clothes? Should I go to dinner? And they want to go through this war all the time. Or should I put aside something? You know, people who really actually meet their goals and who are successful and who have a financial security in place, they set it up once and for all, once and done. You set it once and done, set it up automatically, so it automatically comes from your salary and into your savings account, or from your bank account into your savings account automatically, without interference from you. And that's how you begin to build a wealth foundation and your savings and your investments. Okay, and then moving on as we close right now, in the interest of time, a will and testament. You know, when we were growing up, you know, many of our older folks had the saying that you know, don't write a will. If you write a will, I mean you can die. And so many people would have not written wills, and particularly the older generation, and they would have left their families in a quandary, in a total mess, because properties were not dispersed appropriately. Their monies were tied up in banks and so forth. And so we are suggesting that, you know, write a will. Write a will. A will is a part of protecting your savings and investment, because number one, you need your savings, your hard-earned savings, to go to the people who deserve it, the people who you think are entitled to it. You know, so you want your investment, your will and your investments, your will to dictate that, to speak to who should get what. And so right now in our country, we have hundreds, even thousands of cases in probate, simply because people never took the time out to write a will. I mean, hey, no one gets this life alive. Every last one of us will die. We just don't know when. So if that's the case, you might as well do it right now than wait till later. And so many properties, as you drive around now, so you'll see in a deplorable state, in a rundown state, because people have not stated who their properties should go to once their demise. Okay, so a will is something I urge you to do. We have a few lawyers in this group as well, in our Rotary Club, and I'm quite sure they'll be able and willing to assist you in that as well. And then finally, I wish to encourage all of us to increase our ability to earn. While we are in our earning years, we have to increase our ability to earn. We must earn more. We must do more and put aside more, because we do not know what challenges lay ahead. COVID-19 just gave us a glimpse of what might be coming. Something worse could be coming that will cause a lot of us to be out of employment for a very long time. So we got to increase our ability to earn so that we can make more money, and so that we can set aside more money, particularly as we get older. Okay, and so I wish to say thank you so much for your attention. I know it was a bit rushy and I had to go through some things, but we hope that, you know, some of the things that were shared today will help you to save more, so that your latter years to be better than your former years, as far as it relates to your family's financial security. And I thank you so much. My contacts are on the screen in case you need to talk privately about some issues, but of course, we'll be in the parking lot later on if you want to ask any questions as we move forward. Thank you so much. And now I turn it back over to you, Chantel.
Wow, that was awesome. I see great as in the chat there. It was great. Honestly, that was really good. Thank you so much for that presentation. That was a great presentation. At this point, do we have any questions for our remarkable speaker today? All right, I have a question. You talk about the last will and testament. You know, nowadays, everyone seems to be, you know, finding everything online, you know, to make it easier. Does the last will and testament, does it have to go through a lawyer, or can you go and download one of those, you know, will in a box and just fill it out and have that as your last will and testament?
I think, I'm not a lawyer, but I really believe that it should go through a lawyer. It must go through a lawyer. We have had any number of cases where wills were purportedly being signed by persons who did not sign them and so forth. So you don't want, and the last thing you want is upon your death, there's all kind of mix up. People bring in all kind of online stuff. Okay, this one here, download, she filled this one out here. So it needs to be properly sealed, stamped and sealed and secured by your lawyer, and who would approach, who would appoint the necessary persons to oversee, the executor or the executress to oversee, your will.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. I don't know, we have a lawyer. Jamal, I see you logged in. You want to comment on that? Do you agree that it should go through a lawyer?
Absolutely. Wayne is quite right. Only because not necessarily that it absolutely has to, but out of abundance of caution and to avoid challenges along the way after death, it is better to have an attorney oversee preparation of your will. But I think what the law essentially says, though, is just that you give your will, you must do your will in front of 2 witnesses, and none of those witnesses can be persons who are beneficiaries under your will. So as long as it meets that criteria, that's generally acceptable. But again, I agree with Wayne, and I suggest you do have that overseen by an attorney.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Wayne, I also see a comment here that JPs can do wills as well, but I mean, I guess, I don't know if that means you still have to go to a lawyer, but thank you very much for that comment, Donnelly. Monique, I see you have a question. You have your hand up. Monique? Okay, maybe that was by accident.
While we wait on Monique,
Yeah.
whoever, I'd say that, look at it this way, the significance and the seriousness of a will. You gotta look at that. If all your earthly possessions, things that you work so hard for, I think blood, sweat, and tears. You put up with all them people foolishness on the job. You save, you sacrifice to amass these properties and these funds. You think you can treat that flippantly? I think not. I think I would want to sit with someone competent enough to make sure the proper disbursement of these property that I have, because blood and sweat and tears were paid for them. That's all I have to say on that.
Thank you, and with such passion. All right, thank you.
Hi, my hand was up, sorry, but I couldn't get back in the meeting. Just trying to figure it out. Anyhow, I'm here. So I'll tell you from an experience, even though you might have a will done, you still have to go yourself and make sure that is registered. If it's not registered, like to the registrar, they don't consider it a lawful will. So keep that in mind.
Just to add, Tamika here, I was going to say the same thing, and that's excellent information that it has to be registered. I just wish to add too, from the insurance side, working at the Insurance Commission, that I'm just advising persons as well to disclose information. We have a big problem with that, is that persons have wills, they have life insurance, they have all these things, but we don't have any bureau or anything where when the person dies, the executor or the family member can find the information. And so please, I know that I'm reaching out to persons that, yes, back in the day, they used to keep all these life insurances a secret and all these other things, but you have to disclose to someone where your documents are so that they are able to find it in the event of a loss.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you. Any other questions? We can take one more before we call on to thank the speaker. Any other questions? Okay, all right. So I'll Jana, if you would like to do our thanks to Rotarian Wayne, please.
Hi. So that was unexpected, but I'm absolutely willing. Rotarian Wayne Miller, we thank you so much for your timely topic today. I know a lot of us has done a lot of extreme holiday spending. And so we definitely would need to get on track for the new year and moving forward. So we thank you today for your wise words and to steer us in the right direction. So thank you today, Mr. Wayne.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again. And your certificate is in the mail, okay?
Okay.
All right. So Rotarian Felia, we'll call on you now for the four-way test.
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build
goodwill and better
friendships?
friendships?
Will it be beneficial
To all concerned.
And lastly,
Fun.
It is fun.
it is fun, yes.
Agreed. Yes, very much so. All right. Thank you. So past President Jamal, if you can lead us in the Rotary toast, please.
Okay, this one is actually new to me, the Rotary toast. Well, not the loyal toast. Did we keep the loyal toast?
Yeah, so you will switch to the Rotary toast, which is just basically the Rotary around the world.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Okay, fellow Rotarians and guests, please join with me. Raise your glasses. Rotary around the world.
The Rotary around the world.
Thank you, Secretary Chantel.
Thank you too. Thank you too. All right, President Michael, over to you for the adjournment.
All right, thanks for attendance today, all who participated. Thanks again, Kino. And meeting is officially adjourned. Any further discussions can be held in the parking lot.
All right, thank you, thank you. And remember, as we leave, to keep our Rotarians in prayer. We do have some who are out sick, some who've been exposed. We do have who've had experienced loss. So we really want to make sure we keep everyone in prayer as we move through the beginning of the year. Okay, so Rotarian Wayne, I'll now turn it back over to you.
Okay, good. Thanks very much, Chantel. Yes, okay, now we're in the parking lot. This is the unofficial parking lot. Where we make all our official comments. But yeah, so I just trust and pray that the main point was garnered today, and that persons understand and recognize that while we saving and accumulating things, we have to provide protection. We have to provide protection for those savings. Otherwise, we can keep on spinning the wheel. You save a couple of dollars and then something come up, you move it. You save a couple of dollars until you find the formula and the strategy. You're not going to get too far, and then years is going to come. And you end up in your 50s, your 60s, and I just say your 70s, and you'll find out that you didn't move too far along the line simply because there wasn't the protection in place. So I don't know if anyone else have anything further to say to that or add to that, because I've spoken, so I don't want to take up all the time in the parking lot. Of anyone have any experience or any other suggestions?
Hi, Wayne.
Hi.
Also, I want to add that persons with monies in the bank, they need to name a beneficiary, because if that person dies and did not name a beneficiary, no one can get the money.
Very excellent. Good point. Good point. And we have millions of dollars there in our banks.
Exactly.
So, Rotarian Sandra, if you have it as a joint account, will you still need to have a beneficiary or the person who's joined on the account?
I don't know about the joint, but I know the individual accounts, you need to name a beneficiary.
Okay. Oh, I see a response from Raquel. Okay, thanks, Raquel. So it's not needed if it's a joint account. Okay, because that's kind of what I ended up doing. Instead of having it as a beneficiary, I have a joint person on each of my accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
If I can comment on that, two things I want to mention. Firstly, that I heard person saying earlier that the will is not recognized if it's not registered.
No.
That's first time I've heard that.
Right.
But what tends to happen is that the will, before it's really given effect to, so as to transfer assets, the process of probate is required. And what that really means is just that the will is submitted to the probate registry of the Supreme Court. Once there's no challenges to it, the court then approves it, so as to say that it is the last will and testament of the deceased person. And then the person who is named as the executor or executrix under it is able then to transfer the assets according to what the will lays out. But I don't know of any requirement that it has to be registered first before, unless people are using the word registered so as to be the same thing as probated or something like that. But other than that, no, there's no requirement for it to be registered. And then the other point that you raised about the bank account, well, in the event that there is no will and the person dies intestate, meaning without a will, then the property of that person is administered according to the Inheritance Act. And that essentially provides the chain of title where a wife dies, leaving a husband and children. Then I think it says that 50% goes to the husband and the remainder 50% goes to the children, or however she's listed. Where there's no husband, there's only children, then the children all share it equally. So that's in the event that it isn't a joint account and the person dies intestate without a will. But if the will says who is to get the bank account, then that's how it's going to be distributed according to that. So that's my 5 cents.
And I have another 5 cents too. A lot of young people think they're going to live forever. My daughter and husband love to travel together. And I said to them last time before they went to Vegas, please write a will. And I want to see it. Write a will. They have no children. So it would have to be distributed between myself or his family. And it would put everybody in such jeopardy, not knowing how they mean to dispose of their 2 houses, vacant land, bank accounts, and insurances. So they finally sat down and wrote a will and saw the wisdom of it, because they're young, but something can happen to them too, not just us old people. That's my 5 cents.
You're absolutely correct, Alano.
That's a good point.
Let's look at what COVID has done. COVID had no respect of age.
That's right.
And I mean, I tell you, it's wreaked havoc on some families, man. And because many of them got caught, they got caught, I mean, basically with their pants down, because a lot of them, again, thought they were too young, too young to write bills and so forth. But see, that's a myth that we have to dispel, you know, from the generation, because we were told growing up, only old people write bill, and only them people getting ready to die. Once they're on their deathbed, then you go and get them to sign the will. They're the things that we were taught in our Haven culture, and I guess they probably around the world.
Yeah.
But now we found out that hey, look here, that was foolish. Yeah. Okay. So, and anyone else talk about any other thing? What about the retirement? How you feel about retirement plan? Think that
I see Donnelly has her hand up. I knew Donnelly, you wanted to make a comment?
Yes, just wanted to share my experience. My grandfather left a will 65 years ago, and today the will has never been probated by the person who was responsible for the probating. And so we understand that, and that's on both sides, both grandfathers. There is nothing that you can do to force somebody to go and probate the will. So knowing that since then, so many of the persons who would have benefit, you know, are dead. So I think you can just go until the last one living apparently, and then they get everything because the will was never probated.
Okay, just a quick response to that. Well, there is a requirement though that the person who is left as the executor or executress has a year before they're required to act. So if they don't act within a year, if they don't go ahead and have the deceased person's property administered or probated within that time of a year, then any of the beneficiaries can force their hand by getting an order from the court to require them to do that. So there is a time frame that that the law stipulates that things should happen, but it essentially give persons up to a year before they are required to act.
I guess, is that a new requirement? Because in all my understanding, I'm talking about 65 years later, maybe the requirement came in recently to you know, bar against that.
No, I believe that that would have been provided under the Devolution of Real Estate Act, which was enforced prior to the Probate and Administration of Estates Act that just came into effect several years ago now.
Yeah, exactly. So in this case, it's difficult because that probably came into effect, I understand, about 5 years, but I'm talking 60 years ago. Yeah, so it's, you know.
Well, I know we're not meant to advertise our services, but not only if you need help, just come and see me.
Who is that?
It's Jamal.
Who are you? Jamal? Okay, Jamal. We'll see each other.
Sergeant at Arms, you taking note, right?
What's important?
And also, Jamal, while you are saying that, what about the deed of gift? Because that automatically, you know, has more benefit than a will.
Well, not necessarily. They work differently because if you, if a person does a deed of gift whilst they're alive, then they would have transferred or divested themselves from the property they own and unable to do it after they die, since they would have already transferred it to somebody. So the deed of gift essentially, you know, it's just them giving a grant whilst they are alive. So yeah, well, in that way, it does have more, you know, it's more significant in that it takes effect upon the grant being made, as opposed to waiting for the person to die and the grant happening after they die. So, but they would work differently though.
Yeah, but in many cases, especially in the case of one child, most likely, you know, the benefit of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we could talk offline when you're ready, Donovan.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else wish to chime in? This is a very important topic. And Jamal, I hope that sometime during the course of 2022, you know, the administration allows you to make a presentation on this topic.
Yeah, who can I submit the retainer to, Wayne, for that purpose?
Nadia, that'd be Nadia.
That's your service above self, my friend. Your service above self.
You rightly reminded me.
Yeah, but it's so important. It's so important.
So Wayne, the information that you shared today, is that proprietary, or can you share that with us in the chat? I mean, I wasn't able to take notes as fast as you were talking, but it was some really good information that I would like to, you know, try to follow through on.
Definitely, I can share that. Okay.
All right, thanks. Or if you want me to send it by email, whichever one, you know, you can just let me know.
Email might be probably better.
Okay, you can send it to me then. I can share it with the members then.
Okay, good.
All right,
yeah,
thanks.
Good stuff, man. That's what we're here for, to share.
Yes.
That's how we grow. We grow by sharing, Jamal. We grow by sharing.
Morale and I don't share the retainer.
I agree, absolutely. I was only playing with that.
Yeah, but I know that, buddy. I know that. Well, anyway, sounds like that's a wrap for everything. But thanks so much for all of you who stayed in the parking lot. And we say blessings to you and a pleasant, good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon, good afternoon. Great way to start the second half of our Rotary year. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, good day. All right.